Since the December 30th arrest of Idaho murder suspect Bryan Kohberger, the world has been wondering what people who knew Kohberger throughout the years would say about him and what these testimonies would reveal about the person himself. One aspect of Bryan Kohberger's life is Kohberger's relationship to women. This video is going to cover everything that we know about Bryan Kohberger's relationship to women. So first I'm going to read an excerpt from a New York Post article that was published on December 31st, 2022. It says, several months ago, Kohberger visited the Seven Sirens Brewing Company several times. Harassing the women who worked there, owner Jordan Surielneck, age 34, told NBC News. Kohberger, who usually sat alone at the bar observing and watching, stood out for his interactions with employees and patrons, Surielneck said. The brewery, which scans everyone's ID, has a system in which staff members can add notes or comments about a patron that will pop up on the screen whenever the ID is scanned again, Surielneck told the network. Staff put in there, and this is a quote of what staff put in there, "Hey, this guy makes creepy comments. Keep an eye on him. He'll have 2 or 3 beers and then just get a little too comfortable," end quote, he said. Kohberger would ask women, staff, or customers who they were with at the brewery and where they live, Surielneck said. If the women were interested, quote, he would get upset with them a little bit, end quote. In one instance, Surielneck recalled that he called an employee a bitch when she declined to answer his questions. Surielneck said he was forced to confront Kohberger during his final visit to the brewery. Quote, I went up to him and I said, "Hey, Bryan, welcome back. We appreciate you coming back. I just wanted to talk to you real quick and make sure you're going to be respectful this time and that we're not going to have any issues," end quote, Surielneck said, and told the alleged murderer, who was stunned. Quote, he was shocked that I was saying that. And he said, "I don't know what you're talking about. You totally have me confused," end quote. Kohberger stayed for just 1 beer and then never returned, Surielneck said. The interactions happened months ago, Surielneck noted. At the time, Kohberger likely was a student at nearby DeSalle University, where he graduated with his master's degree, I may note, in 2022. Shocked former classmates remember the accused killer as being an intelligent student in high school, but was often bullied and could, in turn, be a bully to others himself. They said he struggled with heroin addiction and weight loss. It was bad, Kohberger's former high school classmate Sarah Healy told Fox News Digital on Friday. Quote, there was definitely something off about him, like we couldn't tell exactly what it was. I remember one time I was walking in the hallway and he stopped me and was like, "Do you want to hang out?" But Bryan was bullied a lot and I never got a chance to say something to defend him because he would always run away, she added. Despite always performing well in school, she said he was often rejected and bullied by girls that she believes he may have internalized, leading him to lash out and commit such a heinous, violent crime. Another friend said that Kohberger suddenly changed in his senior year of high school when he lost a significant amount of weight. Quote, he always wanted to fight somebody. He was bullying people. We started cutting him off from our friend group because he was 100% a different person, end quote, Nick McLaughlin told the Daily Beast. Kohberger had been living in Pullman, Washington at the time of the murders, about a 10-minute drive from Moscow, where he was enrolled in the university's criminal justice PhD program at Washington State University. One of Kohberger's classmates at WSU told the Post Friday that he continued his studies after the murder, and he was even present during the class where there was a discussion on the quadruple homicide. Kohberger has been charged with murdering Kelly Goncalves, age 21, Madison Mogan, age 21, Xana Kernodle, age 20, and Ethan Chapin, age 20, who were found stabbed to death in their off-campus home on November 13th. Police said on Saturday, December 31st, that Kohberger likely acted alone. At this time, Kohberger is, of course, being held without bond in Monroe County, Pennsylvania, and he plans to waive his right to an extradition hearing, which could expedite his move to Idaho. And this is reported by his lawyer, Jason Labar, who's a chief public defender in Monroe County. He said this on Saturday, December 31st. Now, it should be noted that this is a typical move. This is the move any defendant of such a crime would be making. This is no surprise. It's nothing out of the ordinary. It's basically procedural rite of passage, as I call it. So that doesn't tell us too much about the defense he's going to put up, if he's going to plea, if this is going to go to trial, or what might happen in the future. Given Kohberger's history with women, I personally have wondered if he did target this house full of beautiful, gorgeous young women, or one or two or three of the stunning young ladies himself, because of the animosity and possible hatred that he may have developed towards women as a result of his relationship with females throughout his life. It's also been reported that he had a possibly challenging childhood, that his parents were, pretty loosey-goosey, so to speak, in the way that they raised him. And they filed bankruptcy the year that he was born, and then again when he was 14, indicating there was likely significant financial difficulties in the home, which is always an added stress to a household. And certainly it's an added stress to a child in a household where the adults are undergoing such financial stress. As people were creating profiles of the possible suspect before his arrest and were speculating about what this person's personality and constitution might be like, it was widely speculated, well, by some at least, that the perpetrator would be someone who was what is known as an incel, or an involuntarily celibate person, who is perhaps targeting these beautiful young women because they represented, in his sick mind, the kind of woman that he was not able to attain, or that rejected him. Now, I should note that a person, or Kohberger, wouldn't necessarily need to be an incel in order for them to target Kaylee or Madison or Xana, or all of them, because they are attractive young women. Based on what we have learned about Kohberger's relationship to women through people that have interacted with him and known him throughout the years, it sounds like it's very possible that he could have developed some strong negative feelings, animosity, and possibly hatred towards women because of the way he felt he was treated or picked on or bullied. And in turn, he started to objectify them, to grow disgust for them, to despise women, and therein possibly dehumanizing them in a way. This is just me speculating as a person, a true crime sleuth with a psychology background who is a behavioral therapist. I think that all of the speculation about the female students being targeted because of Kohberger's past experience with women is completely within the realm of possibilities in this case. Again, this is just speculation, but as I often say on this channel, it is the nature of human beings to speculate about one another, particularly when we are aware of something like what happened at the University of Idaho has occurred. Human beings want to make sense of tragedies of that magnitude. There's something in the primal, fundamental human brain that wants to connect the dots, that wants to understand why and how something like this could happen, in part out of fear that it could happen to ourselves, or it could happen to someone that we love, or just because it makes absolutely no freaking sense to a normal, healthy, or even somewhat healthy human mind. It certainly will be interesting to learn more about Kohberger, his past, his relationship with not only women, but with all people as days go on, and more information is released about Kohberger, the person himself, and what was discovered throughout the 7-week investigation of the quadruple homicide of the Idaho Four: Maddie, Kaylee, Ethan, and Xana.